The 7-month fight for Bakhmut, where Russian forces have closed in on 3 sides, is the longest battle of the war, with Russia deploying both regular soldiers and fighters of the mercenary Wagner Group. Ukrainian forces have managed to blunt Russia's offensive in and around the embattled eastern city of Bakhmut. Separately, Britain's defense ministry said the months-long Russian assault on the city had stalled, mainly as a result of heavy troop losses. At one point, Russian commanders expressed confidence the city would fall soon, but such claims have tailed off amid heavy fighting. In Bakhmut, border guards fired mortars at the positions of the Wagnerians. Fighters of the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine, with the help of mortars, attacked one of the places of concentration of Russian attack aircraft from the so-called Wagner Group in Bakhmut, Donetsk region. At least 25 mercenaries were eliminated. As reported by Ukrinform, the DPSU announced this on Facebook. The gathering of Wagners in Bakhmut was recorded by the aerial reconnaissance of the border guards. After following the departure of one of the groups, the fighters found that the enemy was concentrating in the Garage Massif. The footage comes as Ukrainian officials are speaking positively about the progress being made in the region. At the same time, Russia has been continuously criticized for its military failures over the recent period. During the day, the enemy fired 163 shots in the Bakhmut direction, and 19 skirmishes took place. Defense forces destroyed 124 occupiers and wounded 149. Serhiy Cherevity, the spokesman of the Eastern Group of Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, said this on the air of the Yediny Noviny telethon, reports the correspondent of Ukrinform. He added that the defense forces know the intentions of the enemy, understand their forces, and monitor and build up their defenses in time by launching preemptive strikes with missiles and artillery. Cherevity also assured that the Ukrainian defenders know where the enemy is concentrating its main efforts and do not allow him to break through the defense. Russian forces operating in Ukraine have lost 15 tanks in a single day, Kyiv said on Sunday. Writing in its daily update on Facebook, the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces said the 15 tanks had been taken out of action, alongside a further 15 armored personnel vehicles. 8 Russian artillery systems and 2 unmanned aerial vehicles (UAVs) or drones had also been destroyed in the previous 24 hours, according to Ukraine's military. Ukraine's military has repeatedly shared footage online of Russian tanks being targeted, and many Western analysts say Russia has sustained heavy tank losses at Ukraine's hands over the course of the war. On Saturday, Russian President Vladimir Putin said Moscow would produce and upgrade a total of more than 1,600 tanks in the next 3 years. Russia will have at least 3 times the number of tanks at its disposal compared to Ukraine, Putin told state media. Meanwhile, the Institute for the Study of War said a run of successful Ukrainian counteroffensives is almost certainly needed to force Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the war through negotiation or military defeat. It is likely essential that Kyiv has multiple, major victories against Russian forces in Ukraine for a settlement to be reached. According to the think tank, Russian military leadership may have decided to deploy certain Wagner elements to the Avdiivka area in recent weeks to support exhausted and lower-quality Donetsk People's Republic (DNR) elements in their efforts to take the settlement. According to Russian media, currently there are 3 most dangerous areas for attack by Ukrainian forces. In particular, we are talking about the Donetsk direction, the Zaporizhia region, and the Kherson region. It is in this area that the large Ukrainian army is concentrated and the largest number of weapons is deployed. Currently, however, Kyiv is awaiting supplies of warplanes from Poland and several other countries to provide air support, as well as additional ammunition for the HIMARS multiple-launch rocket system. The most likely direction of attack was the Donetsk direction. Both PMC Wagner and a number of military analysts are convinced of this, believing that this is the least guarded line where, due to the ongoing fighting, and defense lines are not set up. According to Western analysts, the offensive is expected in the middle of next month, although it is likely that the offensive of the Ukrainian armed forces will begin as early as the first week of April, possibly with the use of artillery. Over the weekend, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv's forces cannot get counter-offensive operations underway without further Western aid. "We do not have ammunition. For us, the situation in the east is not good," he said. "We need tanks for the occupation of Ukraine." But on Thursday, Colonel General Oleksandr Syrskyi said a counter-offensive could come very soon. The commander of Ukraine's ground forces said on Telegram that Ukraine will take advantage of heavy Russian losses around the eastern city of Bakhmut.